All right, these racers are getting started for the very first race of the bracket matches here in the Symphony of the Night tournament, Dragon Blitz style. So the way that this works, we are now finally in the bracket matches. Every match will be a best 2 out of 3, and who ends up winning game 1 will have an advantage, obviously, because they have the advantage in the set. And on top of that, they will be able to ban one of the possible presets from the match entirely. So, for example, these players, they started with Lycanthrope. The next match, let's say, for example, Vey wins. They can be like, okay, I don't want to play the Nimble preset. So the Nimble preset is banned, and then Razio will then pick from the remaining 4 possible races. It's very similar to stage counterpicking in Smash Brothers, if you guys are aware of how that counterpicking system works. In fact, I straight up just stole it from how Super Smash Brothers Melee handles stage counterpicks, because that game is fun and I like playing it. And I used to play in tournaments way back in the day, but now I'm washed and old and bad and crusty and rusty. But I could still take the information and put it into beautiful races like this. So right off the bat, we're seeing Razio with a slight lead. Lycanthrope is the preset that they're going to be racing. And because of this, we are going to want to take a look out for the Wolf movement. This Wolf movement you can use to possibly even skip death. I'm hoping both competitors are able to hit death skip here. It is relatively precise. You do want to set up where you get enough momentum from running down the stairs. It actually increases your speed. If you can run down the stairs with your Wolf charge, you're almost always guaranteed to have enough speed to make it. Vey's looks a little sus. So long as he jumps at the right time, he jumped late, he should be fine. If you jump a little too early there, you can get screwed out of your speed and not actually do the full death skip. But both players hit death skip. Obviously, they're in the final bracket. These are top-tier competitors here. And Gravity Boots is acquired as the first relic. We also saw a Monster Vial acquired by both players. This is going to be interesting to see how these players... going back into... Razio's insane! I thought that was a mistake, but no, already. Possibly a route switch? Vey might do the same thing. Vey opts not to turn around, and immediately we're seeing a change-up in the routes. This makes sense. You have to reload the room to despawn death, so that way you don't have to do death skip again. But by doing it this way, Razio has the ability... Ooh, barrel circlet. To check the entrance relic, and it's Gold Ring. That's actually huge. Don't get hit by the owl! Oh, he's losing time, but... So this is Gold Ring out of logic, plus a sellable. So if they end up going to the library somewhat early, Razio has a sellable, and Gold Ring is required. I like this idea, specifically with Gravity Boots at Cube of Zoe in Lycanthrope, because all of those things combined sets it up for you have the movement to check the relic relatively quickly, and you're going to go through Alchemy Lab with Gravity Boots anyways, so you're going to clear Alchemy Lab. The only thing that sucks about clearing Alchemy Lab without clearing entrance is the fact that you're going to have to backtrack through entrance at some point, and like the optimal way to do it, I guess, is to combine it with like some caverns checks. It's not great. Razio is getting this check out of the way early, and he gets rewarded because he found something important. So if Vey, for whatever reason, decides to skip that, ooh, Heart of Vlad found for Vey, interesting. But if Vey, for example, decides to skip that location, because some players, they opt to skip that location, missing out on that gold ring could be insanely detrimental. We don't know yet if it's required, but, you know, gold ring has the potential with silver ring to open up the Holy Glasses location. And the Holy Glasses location, you know, it's a high complexity location. It's guarded by a lot of, by 2 separate items, minimum. And the game expects you to have flight also, or at the very least leave with flight. So it can be important in the complexity chain. And now, not everybody understands exactly how the complexity chain works. In fact, oftentimes I mess it up because it's relatively complicated. But essentially the idea is, the basic idea is you have a certain number of steps that you must do in-game before you're allowed to finish the game. At least that's how the randomizer constructs itself. The random... Ooh, that was a... That could be a library card. Oh, but 2K on the ground. Vay's going for the potential library card. Oh. Okay, let's see what it is. It's a meal ticket. All of that time wasted. Definitely wasn't the optimal way to get up there, but back to complexity. So the idea behind complexity is, like I said, the game, when it's constructing the randomization, the randomizer, when it's constructing how the relic should be randomized, it essentially forces the solution for the randomizer to have at least 8 steps in it before you get the final Vlad relic and can then beat the game. So very smart players will take advantage of the fact that they know that there is supposed to be 8 steps, and you can do what is known as counting the complexity to then, through process of elimination, try and figure out where relics can be relative to like what's available on the map. There's also an understanding of like the in-game logic. Razio either just didn't see the library card or says, nah, fam, I don't want it. That's crazy. Razio must be like super tunnel visioned because everybody's checking to see if that's a library card. That's wild. Must be tunnel vision. Vay's doing what I would consider to be kind of the standard route. Razio, on the other hand, not even checking. Huh? Not even checking gravity boots? I guess he plans to come back here later? But like, while you're here, you check Ring of Fenor found for Vay. That's a fantastic item. It's basically like a baby version of the Ring of Varda. It's really, really good. Let me real quick. If the screen blacks out for a second, I apologize. Ooh. That's fine. I'll fix it later. I will worry about that later. Razio's opting to map buffer the skip. That wolf jump skips having to fight Doppelganger 10. Very interesting. Opting to map buffer it? Sure, why not? Hey, if it makes it consistent for you, go for it. You know? Very interesting. They didn't find anything in the Coliseum. Oh, there's Spike Breaker. Ooh, interesting. And Razio's going back for the library check. Vay's opening up the warp. They are doing the exact opposite routes from each other, which is very interesting. And Vay's opting to go up to fight Aurochs? Okay. So something else that's important to note about this setup that these players have is that in-game right now, Gravity Boots isn't considered full flight. You can take advantage of the fact that you can access full flight with Gravity Boots and Wolf, but as far as like standard gameplay is, or just like more casual gameplay is concerned, that the the transformation plus Gravity Boots can be considered full flight, but this randomizer, Rib of Vlad purchased. Okay, interesting shop. We saw Dragon Helm. We saw Mana Prisms, I think. A Gauntlet. Marsil for cheap. Definitely pick that up, yeah. Maybe a Mana Prism. Call it a day. Yeah, there's not much else to buy. They opting to buff Intelligence. And then use Tetra Spirit? Sure, why not? And all of the spirits decided to chase after the bats and not actually hit Aurochs. That's unfortunate. I don't think this is the best way to handle this fight personally. I personally would prefer to not use honestly, the Shaman Shield spell is not that great in general because the magic it takes to cast is the same magic almost as it takes to just do a Tetra Spirit, so you should just do the Tetra Spirit. And it doesn't buff your spells enough for it to actually, like, matter. Because I think it gives each hit, like, an extra 2 damage or something like that. It's not amazing. It's like 2 or 5 or something like that. But yeah, these players taking advantage of the out of logic flight to check a few locations. So Gravity boots on their own. Oh, merman statue found early. Interesting. So gravity boots on their own only unlocks a handful of locations. It unlocks, in logic, it's the alchemy lab checks. It is fairy card. And it is leapstone. So if gravity boots is part of the complexity chain, which it likely is, as the first progression relic, I think leapstone is going to be the next. The leapstone location will have the next progression item for these players. Oh, and Colosseum, sorry. We already saw that Colosseum was nothing from Vey, so I forgot about it. But yes, you are correct. Colosseum is another option. Very interesting. Yeah, both Echo and Spikebreaker have been found. I feel like Spikebreaker is great to have. And I think Razio is skipping it right now. Or did Razio just not open the elevator? No, Razio's just skipping it. Okay. I mean, you don't need it necessarily. Ooh, Dragon Helm. Interesting. I always skip these checks personally, but I'm also a believer that, like, item checks most of the time are bad, so they're not worth doing. Force of Echo. Yeah, right now it's these players haven't found anything super interesting in a little while, so Dynamite looks like a saber as well on Razio's screen. Vey's doing every item check. I mean, I don't necessarily blame you, especially when you haven't seen the library yet. You want to find like money potentially. I don't know. I personally have come to the conclusion myself that I think checking items most of the time, unless they're like super duper mega convenient, is just not worth it. There are some that I think are worth checking, like the item that Razio is skipping. There's like a breakable wall there. I think that item is usually worth checking because it's always a single-use item. And if you don't have library cards, it's like worth using, worth checking. All these locations are either potions or some other kind of single-use item. It's programmed into the game that way because they are items that disappear. So it's just built into the randomizer itself. It looks like they're converging onto the castle keep here in just a second. Funny enough, both routes are kind of evening out here, and they both checked about the same amount of the castle. It's just that neither of them have like a massive advantage outside of Razio's gold ring, I guess. So we're going to see on Vey's screen on the left here, what are we going to find? This should be the in logic check. It's Jewel of Open. But holy glasses are found for Razio at the top. Interesting. I don't think either of these players would opt for an early second castle gambit right now. I don't think that's a great idea, but I wouldn't put it past them if they're like really trying to gamble. There's technically a world where that could make sense. The only downside is they don't have library cards, so it's like really awkward to do it that way. Okay, nothing for Razio. At the upper part, Vey is also kind of getting owned by these Flea Riders. Flea Riders really annoying. Grabs Jewel of Open. And I think Razio is going to be first. Yeah, Razio's first to clear keep and will be first to leave, most likely. There's the Jewel of Open for Vey. Vey still needs to check the ghost card location. I mean, Vey will likely find Merman as well, because I think Vey is going to do clockwise route, which essentially means that Vey should be on their way to going through Clock Tower to Outer Wall to then go to the caverns, probably after the library, that is. So Outer Wall, library, and then do caverns. Where Razio, on the other hand, I think is going straight to the caverns. Razio, you never opened the freaking elevator? Come on. You always open the elevator. If you're going up that way, why not? Just open it. This is a nice elevator to have. You don't need to reload the room again. It's already at the top, Razio, because you started from... It's fine. You'll figure it out one day. It's the nerves, man. The competitive, like when you're on the big screen in tournament, you don't want to make any mistakes. Rando brain, nerves, whatever you want to call it. It's scary. You're just going to do the muscle memory that you feel safe with, and that's perfectly fine. I've felt it myself being in many tournaments for this game. After a while, you just kind of like go into autopilot because you're not thinking about your moment-to-moment gameplay. You're thinking about the macro. You're thinking about what route should I be doing? What are my options? What available checks? What possible checks would you even skip if that comes up? It's very possible that that maybe skipping some checks is on their minds. Perhaps. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. God, the soundtrack's so good. Vey has both... got a Graham drop. I mean, it's fine. Graham's good. It's a great weapon to have. Solid double-hitting sword. Razio does the sick wolf jump. Wolf charge off the ledge. Finds a high potion. I've been asking, who's getting these potions high? I need to know. Dark Metamorphosis, got a power up for your soul steal. Yup. Is that a Zircon? So, Razio hasn't done All Roxas Quarters or Gravity Boots or Coliseum. But Razio looks to be in the lead. It's just going to depend on how long it takes Razio to do those checks later, if he decides to do those checks later. Yeah, Aurochs did have nothing. Pretty much all of the stuff Vey has checked that Razio hasn't has been nothing. Like, I mean, look at Razio's relics. Razio doesn't, or not Razio, sorry. Look at Vey's relics compared to Razio is what I was trying to say. Vey doesn't have anything extra that Razio doesn't. So that's why I believe Razio's route ends up being better, because Razio has the potential to do skips later, but we'll see. Ooh, that's a mistake from Razio. Big load times here. Probably lost like 5 seconds on those load screens. Does Razio know the wolf strat? No, there's a wolf strat you can do in this room that's really cool. But that's Lycanthrope. There's probably a wolf strat that Fire 1520 developed for last year's tournament for every single room in the game. Let's see what Vey purchases. Vey has a little bit more spending power. Thinking about the Marcel. Opts not to buy it yet. Checking the rest of the shop. Vey already has a Dragon Helm. Marcel, and then 2 mana prisms. Spending a lot of time in the shop. Wants to make sure they don't make any mistakes here. Yep, 2 mana prisms. Power of Sire drop just randomly for Razio. Oh, hold up. You got to check that. Come on, Razio. Oh, man. I guess check it on the way back. Sure, whatever, Razio. Check it on the way back. You can't be... The suspense is killing me. Oh, it's because he's dying from being in the water. Yeah, that makes sense. He's scared of dying of drowning. Yeah. Makes sense. That is a nice payoff. Okay, so we are looking at the current progression chain as far as I understand it. What is Vey doing? Where's Vey going? Oh, checking this item? I feel like that's such a greedy check. Didn't even pick it up, even though it was useful. I don't know. I feel like Vey has a Fetanor and like gray weapons and a Mana Prism. Like, just let it go. And it is a library card. Razio finally picks up that library card. So yeah. The current progression chain was Gravity Boots at the start, which led to Jewel of Open, which led to Mist. The reason why Merman isn't counted is because Merman was at layer 0, whereas Jewel of Open was layer 2. So that's another way that counting complexity can get a little bit difficult, is you can't count the stuff that's lower in the complexity chain. You count the stuff that's the highest in the complexity chain if it's guarded by multiple things. Razio with some sick wolf movement clears the entire area there by platforming quite well, I would say. Vey's not terribly far behind, does have more checks under their belt, but Razio seems to be a little bit farther in the lead on like total number of checks, if I had to guess. Well, I guess not anymore, right? Because Vey's already done library. Razio's up 2 checks. In the caverns. Well, 3 about to be 2, because Vey's about to kill Succubus. Familiar card, unfortunate. You hate to see it. Yeah, this is why in the tournament, the Lycanthrope tournament that we had recently, I always skipped that location, personally. Especially because you already found Mist in the caverns. I think that guarantees, or like makes it more likely, that that location is just random. And you already have 2 Vlads. I think you just skip it. The tracker should have a library card. I don't think so necessarily. I guess for like a viewing standpoint for you guys, it could be nice. But from a competitive standpoint, like these are their trackers that they're using in the race. I don't think it's fair to have a tracker for the competitors. The competitors should know if they have a library card or not. Trackers are cheating anyways. True, actually. You're right. These competitors should have no trackers. Honestly, the reason we keep trackers around is because they're convenient for streams. So. Yo. I forgot to add the alerts to this scene. Oops.
Tribute.
There it is. Hey! Bet on. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate you, my dude. Much appreciated. All right, Vey gets that form of Mist. Now the question is, I mean, you don't immediately library card, but they will probably library card after checking the Spike Breaker location, maybe after Grand Floon as well. We'll see. Vey also opting to ride the boat for a little while. Vanilla Demon card. You love to see it. Who do I think will win? Right now, I feel like Razio has a better chance because he's going to high complexity locations early and he already has the gold ring. My guess is Vey is going to go check gold ring like now. Maybe? Oh, Vey has to do this first. Sorry. Vey's going to do this. Probably check the caverns check where Merman statue normally is, and then check the entrance check afterwards. Is my guess. That's like a more standard route for what Vey is looking at, but I feel like that would just be a lot of time loss in general. I feel like Razio had a more efficient way to grab Gold Ring. Although Razio ended up checking that location anyways, so maybe not. I don't know. It's tough to say. I feel like it's anybody's game. Razio does get the option to check Silver Ring whilst also doing the All-Rocks checks at the same time, which is a pretty huge advantage. That route is just very convenient. So that also is going to help. I feel like Vey, unless Vey starts skipping a lot of stuff, I think is at a huge disadvantage. Ooh, Razio finds nothing. Vey opting for a save here. Is Vey going for a safe split? Vey's also doing every item check in the game, I guess. Well, to be fair, if you check every item in the game, your odds of finding a duplicator are quite a bit higher. So, you know what? Maybe that's the right play, if you really think about it. Ooh, Vey taking a drink. What are the prediction odds right now? Because we did a prediction before this race. It's about 60-40, 60% in Razio's favor. Okay. Understandable. Summon Spirit as a way to check those? That's interesting. That's a cool, neat little strat that Razio just did. Silver Ring. So Razio has Silver Ring and Gold Ring. If I'm Razio, I'm library carding here, I think. I'm 100% library carding here. I feel like you're not going to get a better value library card. Because now Razio will check the library, then backtrack through Marble Gallery. We'll be able to check the Gravity Boots location. We'll be able to check Holy Glass's location. And then go up to through Alrox's quarters, check all that stuff, and get Silver Ring along at the end as well. So I feel like Razio's route is just turning out to be quite good. That's not bad. I think this is Razio's first save as well. Yes, Mist does have to be the progression. Mist will lead to the progression, so it's either here at Soul of Bat or it's at Silver Ring. Both are in logic for these players with Gravity Boots, Jewel of Open, Spike Breaker, and Mist. All of those relics allow for the Silver Ring check. So Silver Ring is also in logic, so it doesn't have to be where Razio is right now. It could be at Silver Ring. And it's likely just going to be Leapstone. Well, it's Leapstone here. Yeah, that makes sense. That does mean that Silver Ring is less likely to be important. It could be a random Vlad, technically, but it's not like guaranteed or anything like that. So yeah, the next progression location is probably Bats in the second castle, if I had to guess. Because these players already found Echo. So it's probably Bat in the second castle to get the 2 rings, and then the final Vlad is probably at Holy Glasses. Oh, I think Vey's doing the thing, because Vey hasn't found Gold Ring yet. I don't know if Vey's going to go back to the castle entrance to find Gold Ring. I think Vey's just skipping the entrance check. I don't see a world where they check it later. They're probably going to just go to the second castle. They're probably like, oh, well, it's a random ring. It'll be random, which is true. The Gold Ring was random. But I just don't see a world where Vey picks that up. But I'm fairly certain the last Vlad relic has to be at the Holy Glasses location, because it's the last high complexity location left for these players. Silver Ring is technically in there, but Silver Ring is, like I said earlier, not likely to be important because they already have everything and they've had everything since like layer 3 or whatever. So this last Vlad relic will have to equal layer 8 in order for the 8 complexity minimum to get reached. So let's do a little bit of fun counting here. We had Gravity Boots 1, Jewel of Open 2, Mist 3, Leapstone 4, into Glasses 5, into Bat 6, into Silver Ring 7, into Final Vlad 8. So yes, this is guaranteed to be the Final Vlad relic where Razio is right now. Vey did skip Merman as well, yes. But Vey is also library carding, so I don't think Vey is checking Merman anytime soon. Razio does remember that he didn't check Gravity Boots. He's going back for it. Okay, finds power or mist. I mean, we knew that was there, but, you know, that's nice when you have mist. One last Mana Prism, 2 last Mana Prisms, actually, for Vey. I don't think these Mana Prisms are going to matter if you don't find the Gold Ring, because Gold Ring leads to the Final Vlad relic for Vey, because Razio is finding it right here. Yep, guaranteed. That's the power of math, everyone. With the power of math, you could figure out how to speedrun and go fast. I suck at math. You can't count to the number 8? Wait. Everyone in chat is complaining about math. You just count to 8. Yeah, my guess is Vey is probably abandoning. Yeah, I think Razio is 100%ing the first castle here, where Vey, I think, is only skipping Merman and Entrance at this point. But yeah, it looks like Razio should be full clearing the first castle at the very least. So this is looking pretty much... What was the other thing that Razio didn't check? There was something else on the... that lit up when he opened his map. It looked like it was something else, which is concerning. I saw the 3 to the left, which is the checks that he's doing right now. Oh, it just didn't light up for him, the Spirit Orb check. That's fine. Is Vey going to the second castle, or is Vey doing... Vey's probably doing Silver Ring and then second castle. Yeah. Rough. Under these circumstances, I don't see Vey going back to Entrance. On the bright side, I mean, Razio's in Auroch's quarters and is basically going to be finding nothing. Yeah, Spirit Orb was a familiar. So this is either a random Vlad or it's junk. Here at Silver Ring. Because it can't be a progression item. Could just be literally nothing. It's literally nothing, yeah. Vey did save split this, though. So Vey's not necessarily losing out. Something's going to have to hit Vey like a bolt of inspiration and be like, maybe entrance. Otherwise, Vey loses. Straight up, I don't think there's a way to salvage this. I don't see a world where Vey is full clears the second castle. Before Razio does. And also comes back to the first castle and finds the thing that it was missing. I think this is a Razio W, probably. Yeah, Vey's going to the second castle. You know, it's not even necessarily Vey's fault for opting to skip something. Like, skipping stuff isn't always bad. It's just unfortunate when you get unlucky in this exact scenario where you're like, oh, like I have 2 Vlad relics and I know that the gold ring is in a random location and probably leads to the final Vlad relic. Like, Vey is probably smart enough to know this. The only issue is that the gold ring is in a random location. It's purely random. It's called the Rando ring for that reason. And Vey just happened to skip it. Out of the 2 checks that Vey skipped, one of them was required. It's basically the same thing as skipping like a random Vlad, you know? Doozy, I want you to know that chat message was very funny. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll never know what that chat message was, which is why you should watch these streams live on twitch.tv/DragonBlitz so you can get all the hot tournament action pumped directly into your veins as it happens. You don't have to wait for the YouTube VOD to come out. And since you're watching on YouTube, you should also subscribe. I mean, it's like right there. You can just click the button. It'd mean a lot to me personally. It'd be great. On the bright side, I have no clue what is going on. Hold up. Everybody, sorry. I have to, for copyright reasons, I have to break the stream immersion. This is big bad. Okay. Oh God, where are we? Okay, we're fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Sorry about that, y'all. That got a little scary. Not gonna lie. My immersion. Yeah, I was about to get copyrighted all the way to another dimension, so it's that dang Spotify playlist not looping like it's supposed to. I'm glad you caught the stream. I'm glad you came from YouTube, Zealander. Ooh, you don't want to see an early Vlad relic if you're Vey, unfortunately. So Razio's going to have 4 out of 5 Vlads almost immediately. Now, hear me out. What if Razio goes left side? Do you think it's possible? Left side could be cool, maybe. Any left-siders? Vey just found the Tooth of Vlad. Ooh. At Darkwing Bat. Nothing at Medusa. I'm telling you, left side is going to be the deciding factor here. Razio, my man, always goes left side. Watch this shit. I mean, he didn't get the warp, so the odds of him going left side are very low. But he always goes left side. That's my man right here, Mr. Razio. Left side, grabs the relic, turns around, and then goes left side. Okay, never mind. Ooh, Masamune's cool. That's definitely a fantastic endgame weapon here. Oh, he's going to go back for the warp and then do left side. Of course, of course. Did Vey get the warp, by the way? Did anybody pay attention? Yes? Okay. Razio, on the other hand, full cleared the first castle, so doesn't need the warp. So, theoretically, if Mr. Razio puts his controller down and then maybe has... I was going to make a joke similar to what the joke Doozy made, but I can't. That's Doozy's joke. I can't steal it. Yes, if the wife decides to go for round 2, exactly. I think Vey has a chance, potentially. If Razio has unfinished business in his household, then there is a chance. He'd have to put the controller down for like, I was going to say like 15 minutes. I don't know if Razio has it in him. Can he even last that long? Somebody ask him. Not during the race, of course. Somebody ask his wife. Baby, baby, baby. I'm not... Ooh, Alucard shield. The joke I was trying to make is... I'm not... It's not premature. I'm just speed running. Anyways, I'm just trying to keep conversation lively here because at this point, it's kind of like... It's like watching your room flood from like one drip at a time. It's just slowly happening and there's nothing you can do to stop it. We've all been there, right? It's more like watching a big wave, right? You guys know what I'm talking about? You ever watch a movie and there's like a big wave coming? And it's like there's nothing you can do to stop it. You can try and run away from the big wave, but it's coming. You're on a boat in the middle of the ocean, and over on the horizon, there's just a big wave. It's coming. And that big wave is Razio. Also gets the Alucard shield. Well, what's the point? If we're both going to get the insane rare drop, then what's the point of it being a rare drop? Just make it... What's the point? They both got the same freaking rare drop. Still opts to use the Masamune. Oh, just kidding. I literally lied. I am literally a liar. Vey is changing to the Alucard shield. Probably the best weapon for this fight. Also probably the best weapon in the game. So, sure, why not? And then puts the Marcel back on. Sure. You know what? You never be too careful. All right? Because sometimes the Alucard shield doesn't get the job done. That's why you need backup. Of course, of course. Honestly, Razio... Vey was the first to enter second castle, but Razio's almost caught up, which is scary. Whatever lead Vey could have had by coming here early is almost gone already. Oh, is Razio double shielding it? Uh-oh. Someone's getting imped right now. Yeah, Razio's opting for the double shield strat. I like that strat. The idea is that you have a Alucard shield in one hand and then your shield dashing shield on the other. So that way you can shield dash comfortably without losing MP. Double shielded up on a Thursday afternoon. Oh! Takes an arrow straight to the face! And honestly, getting imped and getting shot might be enough for Razio to make a comeback. Razio, smart. Opts to use the Alucard shield for doing damage to the imps and for the invincibility. Yep. Alucard shield is a fantastic panic button. When you don't know what's going on, just freaking press the panic button. Ooh, great fight from Vey. Dive kicking up to the core of Beelzebub. Well, you know, on the bright side, everyone's a winner. Anybody who went left side in this scenario surely they would be doing just as well. Left side is always the best side. Uh-oh, Razio. Oh, he's running out of meat to dive kick off of. He has no meat. Razio with no meat. Flies all around him. And he's good. Not a bad race from Vey. Honestly, I feel like Vey was always had the potential to be in this race. It was just really unfortunate missing out on the gold ring. You know? And that was literally the first decision in this race is what won Razio the first race here in this tournament set. Razio said, I'm going back to entrance. Vey said, maybe not. And that was enough for Razio to just find the Matrix code and weave around it and dodge the bullets and end up with a pretty big W here, honestly. No sign of the wife coming in at any point here. We will see if these competitors are doing more races after this. I mean, I'm down. We'll see. This is best 2 out of 3, so there is at least one more race after this. Razio will have to win another race if he wants to be the victor of the match. Vey will have to win 2 races after this. So maybe I'm being a little presumptuous. Maybe Razio, his computer crashes. Maybe he gets a sudden urge to go to the bathroom really bad and then forgets that he's in a tournament. Maybe he gets drafted for the military. Joe Biden himself knocks on the door. Tells him that he needs to get his ass, get up in the... What was I doing? Soda! On the bright side, we might get to see some cool stuff happening on this side of the screen. Maybe. Maybe we'll find a cool relic? I don't know. Razio finishing this with, like... This is going to be a sub 48. It's a pretty good time. $47.32. G's to Razio. Congrats. Congrats. That is a win for Razio. And we're going to find out what we're doing from here in just a little bit. Stay tuned. All right, we're getting back into it. This is race number 2. Right now, Razio does have 1 point after winning the first race, that being the Lycanthrope race. And we are on to race number 2. We're doing Safe Logic, everyone's favorite preset. And by everyone, I mean if you enjoy things that are less akin to fun and more like long, drawn-out torture? Perhaps? Oh, thank you, Godchild, for handling the prediction. I appreciate you. I almost forgot. You know what? People don't know. There's so many buttons. I have so many buttons at my disposal when I'm running a tournament race like this. So I appreciate when I don't have to do literally everything. Yeah, Safe Logic, it originated as the means of like, hey, what is the like basic standard way to play through the randomizer? With the complexity in mind. This was designed with the idea of complexity. So if you watch the last race, we talked about the minimum complexity being 8. In Safe Logic, I believe the minimum complexity is 9. Safe is a preset for people that prefer blasphemous style Metroidvania. Yeah, Kind of. I mean, it's more so that this gives you a more backtracking experience. Safe logic for speedrunners is a little rough because it can force backtracking. But if you're just playing through the game like casually, which is like what people do when they play randomizers, is they play casually, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. For a casual experience, like you're going to backtrack anyways and you won't really notice the difference. The other thing that is interesting about safe logic is the fact that all of the item sprites, item names, and item stats are randomized amongst the same pool of item types. So, for example, if you find a short sword, or a sword in general, I believe, the name will be randomized amongst all swords. So in their inventory, it says that they have a saber, but it's not necessarily a saber. Like the stats are not the same with the saber. The hitbox might not be the same. The attributes might not be the same. The only thing that is true about the items that you're reading, outside of a handful of like tricks to like know kind of which item you're dealing with, is by reading the description of the item. The description of the item should never lie outright. Some descriptions might be like not super helpful, but description should never lie and should give you an idea of what the item should be. Leapstone as the starting relic is actually not bad. This is like, as far as safe logic goes, this is like one of the best case scenarios, because Leapstone is a relic that does things for you and allows you to move, which is nice. And Razio opting to immediately start skipping items, misses out on a luck potion. So one of the things that is nice to note about the item randomization, the stat item name randomization, item stat randomization, is that single-use potions, their names are always correct. Equipment, the names are not correct. But single-use potions, so if you see something that says luck potion, it is a luck potion. If you see something that says mana prism, it is a mana prism. If you see something that says library card, that is a library card. Same with meal ticket. So when you pick up like a potion or a single-use item, those are correct based off their name. But the equipment items that you pick up are not correct. You do have to read the description for those. So it says that they picked up the opal circlet, they just did, but it's not actually the opal circlet. See right there, bastard sword, it says feed on enemy souls as the description. So that means it's actually the, what's it called? The sword that feeds on enemy souls. I'm blanking for a second. Mornblade, thank you, chat. I appreciate you. The Varda description doesn't lie. The Varda description says golden ring to rule them all, which means nothing. It's just flavor text. If, for example, it said golden ring to rule them all and increases stats plus 30 in all stats or whatever, then it would, like, because the idea is that the items don't lie. For example, if one of the, all of the elemental swords have like the description of like ice sword of blah blah blah, like the name of the god that they're named after or whatever, like ice sword of Rahab, and it's the ice brand. Since the description says ice sword, it has to be an ice sword. So if you pick up the ice brand, it'll always say ice brand because of that. There's like some weird like technicalities that the dev put in there for descriptions to be correct. It's honestly like difficult to remember all of them. It's an interesting dynamic. The only thing is that it gets very overplayed and like kind of annoying after a while. Razio going out of his way to spend 20 seconds to pick up the holy J. Can I get some J's in the chat, please? Picking up the most important relic of all, because now that he has the snorkel, he can breathe underwater. But yeah, as someone who was in a Safe Logic tournament, did I win that tournament? I don't remember if I won that one. Was that season 2? I don't even remember. It's been a while, but I remember the Safe Logic tournament being... We were ready to be done with Safe Logic at the time. We were definitely ready to be done with it. Yeah, Razio's movement, great to point that out, is actually just better, it seems, which is interesting. Razio opting to go to Castle Keep, or sorry, not Castle Keep, but to go up to Auroch's quarters, maybe going to Castle Keep afterwards. I think this is the correct play. There's only a handful of combinations of relic locations where you get like hard punished for going this route. I do believe it's the correct route. I also believe that if you want to be as safe as possible, Dice is countless enemies? I can't remember if that's Chrysogrim or not. Dice is Chrysogrim and Slice is Vorpal? Or is it the other way around? Because they have the same description, but one says Dice's enemies and the other one says Slice's enemies. Countless Blade is Chrysogrim? They both say Countless Blade, I'm pretty sure. Slices cleanly is Vorpal. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Razio finds a equipment item. Now, it looks like the Sunstone. I think a lot of people would be like, oh, that's just the Sunstone. I don't need it. Wrong. If you go to a relic location, this is another thing that's important to know about safe logic. If you go to a relic location and you find an equipment item, specifically like a ring or something that would be in the accessory slot, it pretty much means it's gold or silver ring, so you should go get it. So Razio doing the correct thing here as a seasoned veteran of the game and is going to go grab that ring. We didn't see the stats on the Chrysogrim. It doesn't look like the stats are amazing because it took a few hits to kill the Minotaur there, but it's still a Chrysogrim. And it looks like they got it too, so neither of them are at a massive advantage or disadvantage. So it's Chrysogrim plus Mournblade. It says Garnet, but if you look on the tracker, it lit up the silver ring there. That means it's actually silver ring. Fun fact about the silver ring and gold ring, they could have their stats randomized as well. So you could always have the potential of finding like a silver ring that happens to give you like +5 stats, as if it was the Moonstone. I guess that's not technically true. The Moonstone can't do that. But it could be like, you know, the Ring of Fenor and give you the boosts that way, or +5 strength or something like that. Razio finds the ring and then is now going through to Castle Keep. Interesting. The only thing that sucks about this is what do you do when you're done is my question. Because if you don't have the warp for... I personally grabbed the All Rocks warp for this scenario. Because if you don't have the warp, once you get to Castle Keep, what do you do if you find nothing? Because it is technically possible that you find nothing. I didn't see if there were stats on that. The other thing that sucks about safe logic and why I'm happy it's not the primary randomizer preset is that just knowing the name of the item doesn't give you the full description of like what the item can do. So, for example, if I saw Ring of Varda, I'm like, oh my god, Ring of Varda! Versus if they pick up something that is called the... I don't know, like Ring of Doo-Doo Ass, and then they check the description, and then it happens to be Ring of Varda, and it's like, oh my god, Ring of Doo-Doo Ass is actually the Ring of Varda. It's like you're an extra step removed from the hype, as well as it becomes a little bit more difficult to decipher like how good your items are at a glance. It's another reason why in this preset, oftentimes players will find good enough items and then just like never open their inventory again at the top level. Covenant Stone, though, could be good. It could be a sellable, though. We don't know. Increases MP restoration rate? Heck yeah. Covenant Stone increases MP restoration rate. Why not? Yeah, Vey is really hard gambling on item checks, it feels like, where Razio is choosing to, like, not check. Because at the end of the day, every item check is a gamble. You're just hoping to find something good. Where Razio is skipping all the items... And Vey said, yeah, I don't... It looks like it could be the Fist of Tolkis, but it could be the poopy doo-doo fist ass attack. So that's the thing about random sprites is you don't know what you're going to get unless you pick it up. And Vey is like, it's not really worth it. I have a Chrysogrim. Whatever, I'll move on. Welcome, Big Jump. Glad you're enjoying the races. I'm enjoying the races, too. I'm happy to be back with tournament races. It's been a year since the last time we've had some solid one-on-one races on the channel. Vey, however, could be getting a library card. That is guaranteed to be a library card. So Vey's greedy item checks turned out to be quite good. And this is what I'm talking about. If you don't have an escape plan, what are you doing? What's the plan now? The only way to leave Castle Keep from this side is to either warp all the way back to entrance because you don't have any other warps. This is why I get the All Rocks warp, by the way, because it could be bait. And the library card's going to save Vey, which is huge. So Vey, I think, has a massive advantage from that library card if they choose to use it. There is some secret tech that Razio could do where you dive kick off of the Flea Riders to go up to the other side of Castle Keep. Yeah, Razio is realizing the problem with their route, and now they have to backtrack through the Alchemy Lab again. This is why you get the All Rocks warp. This is the exact reason why you get the All Rocks warp. Where in clock? There it is. There's the other ring. So Vey is going to be finding Flight. Flight is guaranteed. Oh, and there's library cards in the shop. Wow, for 2K. This library card literally saved Vey. Wow. Flight is guaranteed to be at the Holy Glasses location because in the randomizer, you have to have Flight to leave the Holy Glasses location. So either you have to have Flight before you get it in Logic, or that location gives you Flight so you can leave. So it's likely going to be Gravity Boots or Bat, I think, are the only two options. They also found a Medusa shield, which is cool. The library card was in the chapel up in one of the bell areas. Razio opted to skip it, and honestly, I would skip it too. I never check the chapel bell checks. I just don't. I didn't think that Heart Brooch was very good. I didn't see it. I think it was a sellable. But yeah, Vey is looking quite good here. Razio has to go all the way through Alchemy Lab and then the Marble Gallery. Meanwhile, Vey got to use a library card and then buy another one on top of that. So it's just like Razio's in a rough spot. He's going to need to like Giga Brain the rest of the seed if he wants this to work out. But it seems like Vey is at the very least more comfortable. Maybe this is why Vey chose to do the safe logic as a counter pick. Maybe Vey is like, I know everyone hates safe logic, so maybe I can tilt my opponent by forcing them to play a version of the randomizer they don't like. And honestly, if I'm Razio, after making that first mistake not grabbing the All Rocks warp, which isn't always a mistake necessarily, it's more of like it's like a gamble. I've heard people like Jupiter defend not getting that warp. But this is why you get it. Like, this is the exact reason why you get the warp, because it costs you 30 seconds to grab the warp. But in the scenario where you need it, it saves you minutes. So, I mean, Vey would still be ahead even if Razio got the warp, because Vey had the library card. So it's like, you know, that's also just kind of like get better at finding library cards, Mr. Razio. Have you ever considered maybe you should get a library card detector and just go beep, 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 and find them? Do I have to have a background in SotN to start running in these races? I mean, it would help. Like, these are people that have been speedrunning the randomizer specifically for quite a long time. Oh, these people that, you know, Vey and Razio just high-fiving each other and going past each other from their different routes. Yeah, Razio, he's not that far behind. He's probably like 2 or 3 minutes, which isn't impossible in safe logic if he does a couple of good skips or maybe finds a good route. Do I enjoy more, narrating or participating? I enjoy both for different reasons. I am quite competitive in nature, so I enjoy competing. However, it can be quite stressful, so we'll see. Yeah, Vey did skip the All Rocks warp as well. I mean, I'm happy to do like one tournament a year where I'm competing and then one where I'm hosting. That's fine. And it seems like Jupiter's happy to put on a tournament at least once a year, so. Razio will be getting that other ring, though. So... Okay, opts to go to the other side of the room to activate the cutscene. Sure, why not? I don't think it really matters. Jupiter said the tournament's most likely going to be Bounty Hunter. I mean, sure, whatever. I don't think it is a great competitive preset, but whatever, it's fine, I guess. It all depends on what Jupiter wants out of his tournament. If he wants it to be more of a, hey, let's have some fun and throw together a tournament kind of thing, that's fine. If he wants it to be a more serious skill expression type tournament, then, you know, maybe not. But we'll see. And it's gravity boots. That's kind of what I expected. Sure. So right now, if we're looking at the complexity chain, it is Leapstone Layer 1. Layer 2 is both rings. Both rings were available up to Layer 2. Layer 3 is gravity boots. So now all of the flight locations are available. Transformation also being available at Layer 4, funny enough, because Soul of Wolf was in the fairy card location. And in logic, the game expects you to have gravity boots to check fairy card. So Soul of Wolf does lead to Alrox's quarters, because you need a transformation to get to Alrox's quarters. So if I'm Vey, I'm going to Alrox's quarters next. Yeah, unfortunately, Castlevania cannot crawl in this game. Very unfortunate. You have to unlock the mock wolf, the wolf ball, whatever it's called in this game. Ba, 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 ba. They opting to save the game. That is quite interesting. I don't know how I feel about this save split when there's two relics that are worth checking here, but, you know, it could be, you know, it could be, you know, could be good. I don't think it's, like, the worst idea ever. To be fair, it's like you spend 10 seconds saving the game, whereas if Alrox has nothing, you warp back with the save and potentially save, like, a minute or two. Ooh, a heart refresh. That's kind of cool. Interesting. Saved the game and then left. Is choosing to do this now? I mean, I guess, right? If your thought process is that Wolf isn't a progression item, which a lot of people will forget that Wolf can be considered progression in this game. Saving the game here. So I think Vey was just indecisive about the route that they wanted to take. So instead is doing this save split for castle entrance. That's fine. I don't hate this route. I personally would have checked Alrox first, because in my mind, Alrox has the potential to be a progression relic. We'll see if Razio ends up taking that route, because meanwhile, Razio is finally on his way to grabbing Flight via the Holy Glass's location. I can see a world where Razio goes up to Alrox's quarters. We'll see, though. I'm doing good, Andreas. Thank you for asking. Fire of Bat, more like fire of I don't want that. Huh? Anybody think that was funny? Nope. All right, cool. I will shut the hell up. Yeah, you're right. I should have said fire of crap. Just joined. Is Razio that far behind? Yes, Razio missed out on a library card, and Vey saved a lot of time by using that library card. My guess is Vey is probably a decent, like, 2 to 3 minutes ahead, maybe more. It was a big library card. Razio also, in my mind, made a little bit of a oopsie and lost some extra time, but it's like a somewhat small optimization. I feel like Razio probably only lost an extra minute because of that. So, you know. So, yeah, I think Vey is doing kind of like a more safe route where the idea is that you check as many flight locations as possible now that you have flight open. But I think Vey forgot that Soul of Wolf was obtained out of logic. We'll see if Razio figures out that Soul of Wolf was obtained out of logic and it was locked behind flight. So with that in mind, it could be very likely that the next progression item is at Aurochs, and Razio might be going there first. Razio's movement there was quite smooth. I think in general, Razio has slightly better movement, at least from the last 2 races. That seems to be the case. Ooh, Alchemy Lab is fully skippable, along with Entrance. Entrance and Alchemy Lab fully skippable. Razio, what are you doing? Where are you going? Where are you going? What are you doing? Yeah, you go. Good. Good job. So Vey can now did another save split, is resetting back to Alchemy Lab, and then is going to warp to Aurochs' quarters. If Razio warps to Entrance, it's over. Razio needs to skip Entrance. I feel like it's probably the nerves getting to them because they're being safe, but I personally feel like going Aurochs first is just the correct route here, right? In safe logic, because Vey's not going to Aurochs. Okay. Safe logic requires 9 minimum complexity, and to get up to 9 complexity, you got to go through a lot of steps. It's a decent number of steps. So early game chasing complexity, in my mind, feels really good. Doing out of logic stuff could be great too, but at this point, you don't have any out of logic options. So Vey does find a random Vlad though, so we'll see. Well, that's the thing, is I'm not saying skip Entrance forever. I'm saying you check Aurochs now, and then you make the decision as to what to check later. Because Aurochs, in my mind, is probably going to be, like, Mist or Glasses even, right? Could be Jewel of Open. The next progression item, in my mind, is 100% at Aurochs' quarters. So, it's like... Fairy card is considered locked by gravity boots. Not necessarily locked by flight, but locked by at least gravity boots. Gravity boots or flight. Yeah, see, Vey's doing all these checks that he could just do later and not necessarily lose time for doing so, because it's not like he's going to be able to combine Mist and Jewel. Oh, that duplicator was sick. It was hot red. Nice. Well, that's a real duplicator. Duplicator is one of the only items that is not randomized as well. The spray is randomized, but the description, the name, all of that is not randomized. So, cool. Choosing not to use it yet is an interesting choice. I guess it makes sense. You don't have a reason to use it, so... But yeah, like I was saying, I feel like early game chasing complexity is just like the right call. So that way you can make a more informed decision later as to what kind of things you might want to skip, like stuff like that. Vey has a mana prism as well. So infinite mana for Vey. Interesting. Yeah, until Vey gets, like, Soul of Bat, I don't see a reason to put on the duplicator, you know? And like I said, it's... you just go all rocks. There was nothing, literally nothing was found except for the rando Vlad at Clock Tower. All rocks would have opened up more of the route, and then you'd be able to route other stuff more efficiently because of it. Buffalo Star only has 40 damage, though. Not very good. Obviously, the duplicator is nice, but that's, you know, it's random. I'm talking about doing a more consistent way of routing things. Like, they could have done this so long ago. And then you could have gone to Castle Keep afterwards if you really wanted to through Chapel. So... yeah. What does Razio do now? Yeah, I have no idea why Vey is still doing random checks when you have the duplicator, library cards, mana prisms. I think Vey is addicted to checking items. I really do. I think Vey is just straight up addicted to checking items. It happens. Some people got Gamba Rando Brain. Some people see, ooh, shiny. But, like, at a certain point, at what point are you like, I don't need anything more? You know what I mean? This is actually a core problem of, like, CEO culture, right? If you had infinite money, at what point do you stop paying yourself, right? Vey has everything in the world. In this scenario, Vey has literally infinite usage of items. At what point do you say, I'm good? That's enough. I don't need more. And at the end of the day, much like all problems in life, we unmask the villain, and the real villain was capitalism all along. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. All right, let's see what's behind All Rocks. Surely it's something good. Razio also going to All Rocks. Doesn't have the duplicator, but has potential to maybe catch up. The only downside is I don't know if Razio is going to have enough money for more. That's glasses, I mean. Yep. So second castle is going to have Jewel of Open. Minimum. Maybe missed into Jewel of Open, actually, is very possible. So, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I feel like so many options were covered in this scenario, because if it was Jewel of Open here, you turn around, you go to the caverns immediately. If it's glasses, you keep going to Castle Keep. Vey's not even using, you know, the warp in this scenario to go to Castle Keep, because it's, like, slower at this point. I felt like checking All Rocks was just, in every regard, the correct play, because in my mind, I knew that All Rocks had to have a progression relic, or it was very likely that All Rocks had a progression relic. So either these players wanted to play it safe by checking as many things as possible, or they forgot that Wolf is a progression item, and that it was locked behind Gravity Boots. Vey has full cleared the first castle and only has 2 random Vlads to show for it, and Flight. That's it. This is a very empty first castle so far. It's fine. I understand in the moment. Oh, Razio's really struggling to figure out what to do. I think Razio's doing the correct thing here. If Razio hard commits to going to Castle Keep this way, he's in a good spot. Yeah. He's in a good spot. He's fine. He's not that far behind. As long as he commits to going to second castle as soon as possible, he's not that far behind. The only downside is he's missing out on a random Vlad in Clock Tower, but he could easily find that if he remembers. The only downside is Fire of Bat is a check that is oftentimes skipped by certain competitors, but he will have access to infinite library cards, because I'm pretty sure he bought a library card. Surely he bought a library card, right? Razio's a little flustered. I mean, it's safe logic. Safe logic is inherently tilting because it is a preset that is designed around backtracking to a certain degree. Like, you're just kind of forced to backtrack through certain areas, and it doesn't feel great to do that in a speedrun. It feels like you're wasting time. It feels like it's impossible to route the perfect route when everything just feels like that. But yeah. And Vay's entering second castle with everything fully checked. Let's see what Razio does. Razio does have checks here. And he will do them, which means he's going to find that duplicator. Pretty much guaranteed. Yep, right there. So he has everything he needs. He has everything he needs to succeed. He has a duplicator. He's got library cards, I assume. I'm like 90% sure he has library cards. And he can go to the second castle whenever he wants now. So Vay is obviously still in the lead. But hear me out. Left side. Perhaps maybe we see some left side gaming. Maybe. Talking with Swarm about left side literally right now. I'm telling you, left side's got some real good shit in there. No Jewel of Open makes left side definitely a decent amount better. The only downside to left side with no Soul of Bat is that it's not great to get to Creature. Getting to Creature without Soul of Bat, specifically the Zigzag Stair Room, is really rough. But and if you go left side, you get to Giga Chad check Creature. And everyone knows checking Creature is very Giga Chad. Razio's doing it, going to the second castle, only about a minute or so behind Vay as far as entering the second castle. So it's not out of the question. The only downside is he's missing a random Vlad, so he's going to have to find that later. And also, this is really going to come down to what's in the second castle, where it is, and who gets baited by it. They both have library cards, so they have the option to do some like cool save splits where you save the game in the second castle, use a library card, go back to the first castle, check some stuff. If it turns out to be nothing, you can reset back to the second castle. So it's not that bad. I don't expect these competitors to go left side. It's more of a meme at this point. Because without Soul of Bat, I really don't think left side is viable. If you have Soul of Bat and no Jewel of Open, I think left side is just the play. Straight up. The random Vlad that Razio is missing was at... He's doing it. He's doing it! You know what I just realized? No, I'm good. I thought I messed up my microphone settings for a second. You know, it's very... Actually, you know why Razio is doing this? He's like, oh, I fucked up. I didn't get the warp at Alrox's quarters. So I got to double down and do a double down ultra mega gamba, a.k.a. left side. And so far, left side doesn't seem too bad. Vay hasn't found anything important. Did Razio get the warp in Castle Keep? Any knowers? Yo, is that holy glasses? Nice. The only downside is if you go left side with no warp, what's your game plan after you're done with left side? When do you do the right side? Do you go from Galamoth through caverns to get to Castle Entrance, to get to Alchemy Lab, to get to Beelzebub, and then you do an inverted right side? That feels bad, man. When you could just warp back to Castle Entrance or Castle Keep. But yeah, this is the movement that Razio is doing that makes me very not feel great about left side. There's probably a way you can optimize it with gravity boots, but you're guaranteed to bonk your head if you don't have bat there. So it's rough. But it doesn't matter because creature's going to have Jewel of Open right here. That doesn't matter necessarily. Merman statue before finding Jewel of Open doesn't necessarily matter unless, well, I mean, that helps. Power of Wolf plus Wolf, that's pretty good. That's not bad. I'm not going to, it's going to help. It's almost like finding Bat if you don't think about it too much. Razio doesn't have infinite mana prisms, does he? Because he never picked up that extra mana prism that Vey found. Well, turning Power of Wolf off to do this room? Razio said, thanks for the Power of Wolf. I'm not using it. I mean, if Razio has a strat for this room, he's got a strat for this room. It looks like it's working. Oh, but the Jacko Bones. What are you going to do, brother, when the Jacko Bones come for you? So, like I said earlier, Merman statue doesn't necessarily matter because they didn't find Jewel of Open yet. But it could. So Razio's not out of this yet for doing the left side Gamba. $69 HP for Vey. This is actually, everyone thought Vey is, oh my god, taking so much damage. No, it's HP manipulation. It was RNG manipulation to get the shield drop. Oh my, it was a fire shield the whole time. The 69 health into the soul steal, into the RNG manipulation, into the best shield in the game. Not necessarily. I mean, fire shield's all right. What is Razio doing? Boy, these competitors sure do love gravity jumping and bonking their heads everywhere. Isn't that right, guys? Because that's all they're doing. And to be fair, what else are you going to do when you only got Leap Stone and Gravity Boots in the second castle? You're going to have to bonk your head a couple times, you know? Hey, a few concussions never hurt nobody, okay? A little bit of CTE builds character. It strengthens your bones. Razio doing the correct play, in my opinion, which is check library card. Razio's doing the correct play by checking the Force of Echo, because we all know it's just at Force of Echo. It always is. It always is. I think Razio forgot to turn Power of Wolf back on. Yep. Classic. I hope Vey remembers that he doesn't have Jewel of Open. That is true. A lot of people do. I mean, I would never do this. I've literally never done this. Never go back to my catalog of randomizers to try and find me doing this. But I have never gone to Beelzebub assuming that I have Jewel of Open. Vey, also, just like me, big brain, is not doing that either. Because a lot of people will, via muscle memory, just be like, okay, next relic check is at Beelzebub. And it's like, maybe not. Maybe not that way. Maybe you still need to do Beelzebub. Beelzebub is still on the table. But maybe just not that way. He almost fucked up? Nah, he was just loading the room from that side because it's like more convenient to do so. 22 damage? Not a lot of damage. Not a lot of damage. Razio looking for more damage. Says, nah, whatever. I'll just fight this guy for 10 years. How much health does he have? He has like 1,000 or something. So, you know, it's going to take a little while. Like 40 hits. Vey is really in an interesting... Oh, my God. So one of the things about safe logic that I feel like most competitors need to learn is how to deal with these guardians, how to jump over them, or Hellfire. Hellfire is an option to get past them. I don't recommend killing them because they're going to block your attack forever, and you're not doing enough damage. You're just straight up not doing enough damage. Razio finds Jewel of Open. Now, the only downside to finding Jewel of Open here is the fact that, 69 HP for Vey. If Vey dies here, using the skill of Wolf with such skill to get past those enemies, you love to see it. Now, Razio, I think, is in a really good spot because right side has nothing so far except for Merman Statue at Akmadon. So long as the holy symbol location doesn't have anything, which is possible. Jewel of Open and Merman Statue are on the same layer. They are intertwined. So it doesn't mean that Razio is going to die. Note the 69 is protecting him. Oh, never mind. Hit the rocks. You have to hit them in the rocks because it instantly kills them. Thank you. They have 0 iframes if you hit them in the rocks. It basically instantly kills them. Oh, my God. We're good. Nothing scary about an early second castle seed. Nothing scary or frightening or terrifying or worrisome at all about these competitors going into the second castle. Power of Sire? It only does 42 damage. Are you sure? You didn't put the duplicator on. Razio, you didn't put the duplicator on. No! No! He didn't put the duplicator on! Did he forget that he has one? He's gonna Vile stack? Brother, you got a duplicator. It's not even doing that much damage. Oh, I mean, it's still doing damage, but... You know what? Let him have it. Let him have it. Vile stacking's cool again. I hath decree Vile stacking is indeed based. Right side has nothing. Except for Mermaid Statue. Left side has nothing but Jewel of Open. And maybe something at Galamoth. We're going to have to wait and see. The other thing that sucks is, like, is Vey going to skip Creature? Probably not. I mean, you only got 2 random Vlads if you're Vey, so you want to check as many things as possible because the odds of finding a random Vlad are relatively high. Because all of these junk locations could also be random Vlads. It is equally likely. They just happen to not be random Vlads in this scenario, so... Dude, Vey is getting tossed by these dudes. It happens to the best of us. The Guardians and the Gurkha, they are quite strong. They are quite possibly some of the strongest boys in the game. So, oh, skillfully using the wolf. Less skillfully getting kind of comboed. Skillfully gets past him the second time, though, and that's what matters. Vey is still alive. Honestly, I feel like whoever wins this is just the person who stays alive the longest because both of these players are struggling to stay alive. And they both have a Cristigrim, which is kind of funny to think about. That, like, a Cristigrim that doesn't do 10 quadrillion damage still isn't, like, good enough to be, like, 100% safe all the time. Vey is like, wait, I got the Mournblade. Let me just heal off of killing enemies again. Honestly, not a bad strat. Yeah, we can never have 69 HP for too long, unfortunately. These competitors are just bad sports if you think about it. I would rock 69 HP throughout the entirety of my playthrough as a flex, surely. Razio saved before this, right? Doesn't matter. Easy stun lock. The only downside is 38 damage per hit is... not amazing. It's a lot of hits. But Galamoth does have 12,000 HP. So...
Tribute.
You know?
You steal
Ren!
and make
Hey!
them your slaves.
Thanks for the sub. Appreciate the 4 17 months. Appreciate ya. You love to see it. Oh, there was a 39 damage crit and I missed it? Damn. Y'all ever notice how this song goes dummy hard? Oh, 64. Was that a 20 damage crit? Come on. Unfortunate. By definition, if you keep 69 HP, you cannot die. It's so true. You're actually immortal if you keep 69 HP. It's an immortality cheat. Fun fact, with 69 HP, you are fully invincible until the next time you take damage, so. You know, I'd take that. Yeah. Spike Breaker plus Jewel of Open, that's pretty good. The only itsy bitsy baby tiny downside is the fact that maybe Holy Symbol has something important. It's not guaranteed, right? We saw the hold on, I'm trying to do something. The mermaid statue over here. We saw that. It's not necessarily guaranteed to be something or lead to something, I mean. But it can. It is truly random. Because they were found on the same layer, they are both equally likely to be the progression item of that layer. So it could be something that's at like locked behind Jewel of Open, or it's something that's locked behind Jewel of Open and Merman. So it be like that. It really do be. If it's a random Vlad at Holy Symbol, that's going to suck for Razio. Because Razio doing the left side gambit after, like, honestly kind of blundering at the beginning and Vey finding the super insanely lucky library card, Razio putting it all on the table and saying, you know what? I'm a left side gamer. If that leads to a win, I feel like that's a fantastic storyline and just fantastic for Razio as well. Also, Razio, I think, is going to find that random Vlad right now. Because he's going up. Yeah, he's going to find it. So he's not going to like skip this check and then never find the random Vlads that we are aware of, at least. The only lose condition for Razio is if Merman statue leads to either a random Vlad or a progression item. So there's only 2 random Vlads left, plus the last Vlad relic. Those are the only unknowns that we really care about. Obviously, like, progression items are just going to lead to the final Vlad relic. It's possible that the last Vlad relic is at Spike Breaker. And these competitors can check Spike Breaker out of logic because they already have the Spike Breaker. The game does not use Spike Breaker as a like unlock in logic for the Spike Breaker location itself. So because of that, there is some out-of-logic shenanigans that Razio has access to. We will see. We will see. Will Razio finally rise up and prove that left side gaming? Oh, Vey, no. You are not looping this guy the slow way. It's going to take 10,000 hits. Vey, you got to know that you can stand max distance and just hit him off the ground. Oh, no, Vey. That's so much time loss. He's doing like 20 damage per hit, too. And it takes like 40 hits to kill this guy. Oh. Rough. Yeah, Galamoth had Spike Breaker. Man. Small bits of game knowledge like that can really add up. Like, he could have killed that guy twice as fast, almost. Razio skips the katana. Could have been good. I would have grabbed it. He literally has Medusa shield as well. Oh my god. I didn't even think about that. Oh, dude has been using the Medusa shield and doesn't give the doppelganger a big old smack dab of weed in his mouth. And get him stoned. What does Vey do with the Jewel of Open? Does he skip everything? Does he immediately library card? No? Okay. We have found the Joel of Open for Vey. We'll see what Vey opts to do here. Vey could just go back to the first castle whenever. They got the library cards, but I don't know. This is looking pretty much like a Razio W yet again, unless something crazy happens. Oh, Soul of Bat. Ooh. Yeah, basically a Rando Vlad 100% needs to be at Holy Symbol, or else Razio's winning this. It's still possible. It's like a 1 in... Well, I guess in this case, it's like a 2 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's actually not bad odds. It's a 2/3 chance. Sorry, 1/3 chance. I don't know how to do math. That's actually crazy to think about. There's only 6 locations left for Razio. 2 of them have to be random Vlads that are in the caverns, that is. So... And one of them has to be a progression relic, probably missed. Oh, there's a random Vlad. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Uh-oh. Things are getting spicy. I might have done the math wrong, actually, now that I realize it. Echo at Holy Symbol? I guess neither of these... Did either of these players find Echo and just not pick it up? Because Echo is oftentimes skipped. Yeah, safe logic really do be like that. It is pain. Ooh, but Vey said, you know what? Fuck Galamoth. I hate that guy. And honestly, I don't blame him. We do not like that Galamoth guy. And Vey's only missing out on Spike Breaker, which so far we've seen from Razio's perspective, you don't need it. So maybe if Vey does a couple more gambles like that, we might be cooking. Now, Razio needs to find... He's going to find Mist somewhere, because Mist has to be in the seed somewhere. And Mist is likely going to be at... I have no clue. Maybe Spikebreaker? Oh, Razio got no magic! Oh! Oh my god! All right, he's good. Ring of Arcana. That could be good. We don't know. Randomized item names, after all. Y'all ever notice, by the way, that Vey is playing the game at 60 FPS? Food for thought. Confers the strength of 24 men. Razio has the Ring of Ares. 69 FPS would be cheating. You're not allowed to do that. So, I mean, if we look at Vey's screen, we're going to find out very soon. Oh, it doesn't matter. That's a random Vlad, yeah. Razio wins this. Razio should 100% check Spikebreaker first. Damn. Not only that, Vey is also going to ride the boat for no reason. Turns out, Left Side Gaming, yet again, wins it because Left Side is the best side. J-Dub, what's up? Welcome. Made it just in time. We had a left side gambit from Razio earlier in the second castle, earlier in the seed. And it really brought him out of a basically like a fully lost situation. Like, Vey was like 3 minutes ahead at one point almost. Probably. It was crazy. Vey had more checks done and like had an extra library card early. It was looking rough. But Razio said, you know what? Left side gaming. And it works. Sometimes it just works. You know? It just works. Speaking of it just works in Todd Howard, anybody out there playing Starfield? I have zero interest in playing that game because I've already played Skyrim and Fallout and, you know. But hey, I'm sure it's good. Probably, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, so now it's a 50-50 where the final Vlad is going to be. It's either at Soul of Bat or it's at Silver Ring. So it seems like Echo of Bat is at Grand Falloon or it's at or Holy Symbol. Which, if Echo of Bat is at Holy Symbol, that freaking sucks because it's technically a required relic in Logic. So Vey was like fine and was going to, and it ended up being a required relic. But Razio, the dirty Logic skipping complexity cheater doing stuff out of Logic, how dare he do a thing that's perfectly allowed in this tournament? Ends up with a pretty big skip overall. Out of curiosity, yeah, Razio with a 70% to Vey's 30% currently in the prediction standings. So it's 70-30 odds. Yeah. And Razio's going to have to go all the way to Silver Ring. The final Vlad relic is at Silver Ring. I mean, you're in the library anyways. Of course you're going to check Fire of Bat first. Like, everyone does this. Oh, even worse. Power of Mist. Oh, it was random. It was just, there was a chance for, at one point, for Razio to get screwed by not having Merman, but this wasn't the seed. I mean, the odds were in his favor, but there was a world where a random Vlad was there. So, and that would have won for Vey. Vey would have just straight up won. Imagine if Razio remembered a library card after bat check. I mean, yeah, but like, it's a small optimization. It's fine. Yeah, we're going to require some sort of extracurricular, extra paranormal activities to happen to Razio for Vey to win this again. If Razio completely beefs it with all... He's like at least level 40 because he killed Galamoth. If he completely beefs it and like gets hit 4 times with the duplicator on and then panics at the Dracula fight, maybe he can die. And then Vey walks away the champion for today, but I don't know. I really just don't know. Razio beefs it every night. Doozy, you seem to have quite an intimate relationship with Razio and his family. You know what? I'm happy for you. Maybe Doozy is Razio's wife. There it is. 1 hour. Honestly, not a bad safe logic seed. Most safe logic seeds take about an hour, if not longer. So they're probably going to be finishing up around like hour 4, hour 5. So not too bad, all things considered. I've seen safe logic seeds that are like an hour and 20. So could be worse. Could be worse. So it's all going to come down to Razio not beefing it up. Does Razio have that dog inside of him? That's what we got to know. And that's what we're going to find out. Honestly, no library card early. No mana prism for his duplicator. Razio honestly had like a pretty big disadvantage early, but what can I say? Left side gaming. Sometimes it just works. And honestly, the longer we stay subservient to right side supremacy, the propaganda that, oh, the right side has better density of checks. There's a warp for the all rocks and quarters. No, left side. In your heart of hearts, you need to know that left side is real. Razio fighting the social sigma. He's doing any percent strats when he doesn't need to because he has gravity boots. Those wing smashes are not faster if you have gravity boots, but hell, Razio is doing what he wants. He's winning in style. Careful, DB. This could sound political, which I guess is the joke. What? We never. Hold on. Whoa. Let's take politics out of this. All right. I've never talked about politics on this stream, on this channel, ever. We've never even. I don't even know what that word means. So I take offense. I don't know what I would do to that fence, but I would take it. I would steal a fence. What do you think the rich tastes like? Because everyone's out here talking about eating the rich. But are they prepared for what it might taste like? Are they secretly delicious? Is that why they're trying to avoid being eaten? Someone needs to find out. For science. Yep. Now, as long as Razio doesn't, like, drop a wing smash in this room! Okay, it's fine. Every time. Now, for whatever reason, that wing smash is, like, the hardest wing smash in the game, and it leads directly into a room full of some of the strongest enemies that are just going to combo you for days, so... Alrighty. Well, like, I mean, Vay's gonna have to put the controller down, send he's gonna need to get a quick 5 kill streak, send a Predator missile over to Razio's house. Although Razio might have the counter UAV already online, so it's honestly a toss-up. Most people opt to not use the counter UAV. I personally find it to be quite useful in these types of randomizer races, so you never want the opponent to know what you're doing. Yeah, unplugging the controller also works. Nice clip. Reminder, I am doing the clip contest every month on the Discord. I haven't been promoting that nearly as much as I should. But if something funny happens on stream and you clip it and share it in the Discord, you could win a free subscription. Woo! I will pay for your subscription for a month. So make sure to share them in the Discord. You should also just join the Discord, hang out. A lot of chill gamers in there. Nothing weird ever happens in there, I promise, I swear. That does remind me, I still haven't watched the trailer. I wanted to save it for watching it on stream for the new Castlevania Netflix stuff. I was going to watch it today, but it's already so late. How long is the trailer? We can watch it after we're done with this race, I think. Real quick. Three minutes? Nice. All right, yeah. Once we're done with this race, we'll watch the Netflix trailer. Because I am excited for Nocturne. I've heard good things. Yeah. Oh, Razio, what are you doing? Please don't throw. Just win the video game. And there it is. 107.07. Razio with the clean 2-0, proving yet again Left Side Gaming might be here to stay. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I'm curious to see if this is the tournament that rips the Band-Aid off, breaks the seal, and we start seeing real experimentation with different second castle routes. Because we've been doing basically the same second castle route for like 3 years at this point. So, Melee Fanboy, thank you for the sub. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Appreciate you a ton. And join the live stream, twitch.tv/DragonBlitz. Subscribe to the YouTube. At DragonBlitz, at DragonBlitz Daily, both of those things. Join the Discord, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, YouTube.